So if you couldn't already tell by my outfit today, I hate Twilight. Like, you never would have guessed it. Actually, I mean, ignore the poster to my right. I said ignore it! But I used to be a fan. I'm going to admit, unlike a lot of you out there, I mean, dude, I bought this one. The other one I have, I didn't buy, but I bought it because of this amazing guy right here, who should be right here, by the way, Dakota fucking Cannon. And, oh no, I'm gonna say that. Dakota fucking Cannon. He is the most important guy. Arrow from Twilight. He's the only reason why I kept reading the series after I started hating it. Because he was such a boss character. I give props to Stephanie Meyer for creating a bad guy who was like, oh, just great. My family got me tons of gifts. I didn't really buy all this stuff. Like, my cousin got me the poster over there. Family got me this necklace. They gave me the CD. Like, everything I own Twilight was given to me by my family, except for this shirt. This is like the only thing. Actually, no, technically, this was bought by a gift card. So still bought by family and friends. This is actually a really good book, though, because it's written by a Twilight fan, but it's explanatory, almost, of things. I don't know. But basically, we're here to talk about Twilight fans. Now, not the book, because you would like rant on me if I killed it, or rant on me if I didn't kill it, and I'm not ready for that yet. So I'm just going to talk about the fans, because this is one issue that always seems to come up. I mean, like, it's like Justin Bieber fans. I mean, that's another level, I'd say. Twilight fans are slightly lower, slightly.
And slightly older.
Slightly? No, not necessarily. I know some fans of Justin Bieber that are really old. I don't care.
Yeah, I do have a 17-year-old Justin Bieber fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I know an 18-year-old Justin Bieber fan who wants to marry him.
And Justin Bieber moms and Twilight moms.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Twilight moms. They're not that often. But,
there are quite a few, though.
There are quite a few. My mom's one, but she's not obsessive. Like, I had her read it, and she liked the book. But she's not, like, buying t-shirts.
I'm going to every single premiere known to man.
Well, she went to the movies with me whenever I saw them. But that's about it. We never saw it, like, the day it came out. But, when Twilight first came out as a book series, it was really, as my friend Shannon would say, it's not very popular at the time. And a lot of people liked the idea of it, and they liked the way it hooked them on. Because if you ever read it, it does hook you on. Like, at a certain point, you can't put it down because you're so excited in it. And that's always a sign of a semi-good book. But Twilight is like, a lot of people say that the books were written badly, but I'd say they're not the worst written vampire book in the world. No, actually this one's pretty good though, but still. Basically, Twilight, it's its own little segregation of popular series. Like,
and 600 pages long.
And 600, is this 600 pages long? This is, okay, this is the end. So 754 pages. But
800 pages.
Yeah, about. But despite that, I mean, a lot of readers, I know a lot of people who didn't read really long books, and then they read Twilight, and they started reading books again. Like, Twilight, in its own way, has done a good thing for writers and stuff. Like, there's this really good series called Vampire Kisses that basically makes fun of vampire couples and stuff, almost to a point. They do it in such a good way, and Ellen Schreiber is such an amazing writer. She came out, like, she wasn't popular until Twilight came out, and it's a really good thing for people who are really not very popular, but then they write a vampire book and they become popular. And, it's just, I don't know. There's some good things that happen with Twilight, and there's some really bad things. Some people, I personally think that one of the bad things that came out of Twilight was the fans. I was only one of them for like about a year or so. The experience that changed it for me was seeing New Moon for like the second time, because my aunt never comes when me and my mom goes to movies, so she has to take me to go see a movie again, and I went to see New Moon again, and we were in front of two Taylor Lautner fans. And the whole entire time they're like, take off your shirt, Taylor. Oh my god, your abs are so sexy, woohoo! And the whole entire time they were talking. There's this woman sitting next to me and she's looking at me the whole entire time and I'm like, I know, right? And then like it came to the point where like Robert Pattinson like had his shirt and he took it off and they were like, ew, put it back on, I don't see it. Oh, she should totally pick Jacob because he's so sexy and I don't care about personality, the fact that he's a fucking jerk or anything. And then at the end of it, like there was the last scene where like Jacob was talking to her and all that crap and then she was like, well, I don't know, I love Edward, but I totally love you too as a friend. And then I turned around. I had lost it at this point. I was like, excuse me, but would you mind shutting up for the last 8 minutes of this movie so we can watch it in peace without hearing about Jacob's shirt or Taylor Lautner? Thank you. Then I turned around and I sipped my tea. But, yeah. It was really, really annoying. And it was like at that moment, I started hating Twilight. I don't know why. It was just the fact that I had to deal with that kind of fan made me hate it. I never was really, really in love with it, except for maybe when I was going through this crisis in my life, and it kind of helped me in a way, sort of, not really, but kind of, like, I feel like it's a stepping stone in a lot of teenage girls' life for certain things. Like, there's some good things about it, as I said earlier, but there are really bad things, too. Like, the fan base. I mean, I get that you guys like it, but let me tell you a story. I was on Facebook, and one of my friends is a huge Twilight fan, and Breaking Dawn, Part 1, is coming out soon. And they had this invitation poster kind of thing for the wedding. And they had like, you are formally invited to Bella Swan and Edward's wedding or whatever. And she posted that on the Facebook page and she tagged a bunch of us in it. And she tagged some people who didn't really like it. And a lot of them were, I wasn't going to comment on it or anything because I felt like, oh, it's Twilight, it's okay, I can just ignore it. And then some people were like talking, they were like, oh, we should crash the party, bring alcohol and everything. And I was like, oh my god, I want in now. So I started talking with them. I was like, I will bring the booze if we can like get the wolves to drink it. And then we could be like, party, let's drink, or something like that. And we were talking about how we were going to have crazy stuff happen. And the person who posted it was all cool with it too. She was joining in and everything. She was like, and then the haters came. If there's one more thing that I hate more than Twilight, is I hate Twilight haters. Like, not in Erin's case. She hates Twilight, but she hates Twilight with reason. If you don't hate Twilight with reason, and you hate Twilight just because everyone else hates Twilight, which is what this guy did, because he had absolutely no argument. Okay, so, basically, two people start posting like, oh, psh, Twilight sucks, yeah. And then they're all like, no, Twilight's okay, it's alright, you know? Like, you're just gotta get into the detail of it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm checking out. And then I check back in, and then all these comments come, and then it's like, oh, well, Edward is like this, and then Edward's, they're just so great characters and everything in development. And I'm like, no. In my head, I'm not saying anything, but then this guy's like, you know what, you guys shouldn't watch it, you should be watching Harry Potter because Twilight's gay. And that snapped a chord with me. I am not gay. I have a boyfriend. I think he gave me this. Yeah, he gave me this. And he's awesome. But I feel really strongly about gay rights. Like, not to the point where I think it should be disbanded, the law against gays getting married, but I feel like it shouldn't be the government's decision. I feel like it should be the church's decision. And it's not like most churches would turn them down. A lot of them have adapted to new stuff and everything. And it's better that way, I think. But I don't know, thumbs up if you agree with me. But my big issue is whenever people use the word gay out of terms. When you say, oh my god, this is gay. How is this happy? Or a guy liking a guy? How is it? Tell me that. Where is a guy kissing a guy, or where is a smiley face? Said that. I wrote the definition, like I copied it from Webster's Journal, and I was like, this is a definition of what gay means. So how is the Twilight movie happy or guy like guy? And I know for the fact that this guy I'm talking to is gay. So that makes it 10 times worse. So he's like, no, I mean gay isn't stupid. And I'm like, That's not part of the definition. That is some idiot who decided to turn turn it into a negative term when it really isn't. It really isn't. And send it out, and only idiots carried it along. You know what? It's great to know what kind of person you are now. And then he's all like, I'm not an idiot. And I'm like, but I gave you a definition. And then you tell me you meant another way. And I'm like, it just... And then what made it worse is after all of that argument, the person who originally posted the picture came back on. She's like, how dare you say that about Twilight? How dare you? Twilight is my life. Twilight is my life. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, there are so many things wrong with that other than the fact that he said that he hated Twilight. And I'm like, he said like this and this and this. And then she's like, I don't care about that stuff. It was Twilight. And I'm like, and that's like the best example of anything I could give with Twilight. It's okay to like it. Honestly, if you like Twilight, it's okay. It's okay. You can like Twilight. And if you hate Twilight, it's okay. You can hate Twilight. But as long as you don't hate it for no reason. Like, you have no argument to why Twilight sucks. Or why, like, this or this or this. Like, honestly, that's why I sum up of fans. Like, I hate the haters. Like, haters are more annoying than the fans sometimes. Like...
What about the preachy fans?
The preachy fans are annoying.
I went to middle school with preachy fans.
You did?
Yeah, because they were like, hey, Twilight is the best thing ever. And then they're like giving you every copy of their books, trying to make you like it, even though you hate it with a passion.
I don't know. I think that's okay, because you're trying to spread your love in a way. Like, if they're forcing it down your throat, that's another thing.
Yeah, because they were like forcing it down my throat.
Okay.
And I gave in for like a week, and I'm like, no. I got like halfway through the book, I'm like, you know what, no.
But I don't know. See,
I tried.
I don't know. In some ways, I think it's stepping stones for people or for readers or for writers or something. There are so many things that could inspire you to do stuff with this book series.
But if you're like getting really, really obsessed with it,
and
like
really
you think you're a vampire because of Twilight.
I know someone who knows someone who named themselves Alice Cullen on Facebook and started cutting her hair and acting like her and like starting to believe that she was Alice Cullen. It's a little awkward. She's an awesome character, so it was a good choice, but it was still awkward. Like,
I've seen pictures of girls on the internet who would, like, cut Twilight into their arm.
That's just so wrong. I mean, you gotta keep fanism to a certain point. Like,
or, like, start biting people because they think they're a vampire from Twilight.
Like, you can't be that obsessive. It's healthy to like stuff. It really is. Like, if you don't have something that you really care about, then you're basically, like, lifeless, almost. Your likes and dislikes are what gives you hope and stuff, but it's just... Cutting your arm or doing something really drastic is wrong, and it's kind of mentally wrong at the same time. Like, I think, I'd hate to say this, but I feel like those people should get help a little. But it's for their own good.
If you're cutting yourself, you do need to get help.
You do need to get help. I mean, it's nothing to joke about, really, because, like, a lot of people, like, will be emo, and they'll be like, oh, I cut my arm yesterday. And then everyone will be concerned. But the real people who do that, they don't tell anyone. They don't show anyone. Like, they'll hide it. I know people who cut their waist instead of their arms so they don't have to worry about it. And, like, it's the scariest thing ever to hear one of your friends say that. And, if you're one of those people who thinks it's cool and to pretend to be emo, or like to say I cut my arm and do it on purpose just to like get attention, don't. Seriously. Like, it's wrong. And then the people who really do need help, they don't get believed. No one believes them when they tell them. Like, I think I've been cutting myself. Like, I don't know why I keep doing it, I'm trying to stop, but like stuff like that. And then they'll be like, oh no, you're just an attention getter. You don't... just don't. I mean, it's like the...
And also, cutting yourself can be a way of suicide.
It is a way of suicide. I mean, don't do it. Seriously. It's just, there's so much to live for. There's so much out there, you know. I guess a lot of Twilight fans are like that. Are you guys like that? Don't get offended if you're like, don't. Twilight attracts everyone. Like, I know so many people who like Twilight who are on the opposite ends of the spectrum. That's really all I have to say about Twilight. Twilight fans, that is. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Anyway, so tune in next week, next Thursday. Oh.
No.
Oh. Tune in next week, next Thursday and stuff. we'll have another review. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll figure it out.